Kudakwashe by James Chimombe is one of the most thoughtful, powerfully moving songs ever written in Zimbabwean music history. One thing James had over many Sungura musicians of his generation and even today is his voice. The legendary artist had this high, rich sounding quality voice. And in this song, this voice, it is soulfully showcased to the most over this sentimental classic trumpet melody. But what truly made this song great is the thoughtful message in the lyrics. Kudakwashe is a deep, somber meditational song that is led by a slow trumpet that sees James sadly reflect on the unfortunate things that happen in his life he and other people are just born into and cannot foresee or change. Such things such as death, disability, he reflects on both his own and others' helplessness over these things. He accepts this mortality not because he doesn't know better, but because he has no choice over the matter, for it's only the Lord's will. As much as people may try to avoid thinking about it, everyone is going to be affected by death somehow, whether they like it or not, sooner or later. It is a very hard pill to swallow, but it is a fact of life. People rarely die by choice, and James reflects this through his sad tone as he asks, It is this thought that influenced him to write Kudakwashe, which simply translates to, "It's the Lord's will." However, when those things do eventually come, it seems James accepts his own mortality as well as that of others around him because he cannot change it once it happens. He asks, yes, it is only God's will. The best he can do is work with the hand he has been dealt and move on. Being influenced by the Bible, the song implies that God does not make mistakes and there is a reason for everything, as written in
the book of Romans 8 verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose.
Though he sounds almost broken, he shows hope in accepting these facts and moving on with his life. He even sings about those born with disabilities. This is an incredible observation. For real, if people could choose their body image or abilities or disabilities, who would choose to be blind, crippled, deaf, mute, or some of those limitless rare health conditions we sometimes only hear about on the news? These are just the cards we are dealt in life. That is just life. But you still can move forward with these things. This message extends to many other things too, like how every one of us has something they may be born with or encounter things they wish they hadn't. Maybe I should be stronger, slimmer, or bigger, smarter, lighter, maybe taller or shorter. Maybe if I was a little richer, maybe people would like me a little more. These are everyday complaints people sometimes have. But what about those who got it worse? As different people, we can never be the same. Our strengths and weaknesses can never be the same. Like the song's title, it is only the Lord's will. It is literally out of our hands. You can never blame people for looking different. In Shona, we say, Seka orema wafa. which means laugh at a cripple when you are dead. This is because only then you can be assured of not reaching the same fate. People are not only born with disabilities, a lot of people actually gain them later in life, and of course against their will. So you can never know what is waiting for you later in your own life. Only God does, and it's His will that cannot be denied. This alone is enough reason not to judge, discriminate, shame, and segregate others based on how they look, health, status, race, background, or disability. However, if you are by chance dealt a quote bad hand in your life, you can always work with what you have. As English professor Stephen Hawking once said, "For where there is life, there is always hope." Such as Professor Stephen Hawking himself is a great example. He had a neuromotor disease, which meant the only thing that virtually worked on him was his brain. But with this brain, he still made things happen. He is the legendary physicist who made revolutionary contributions about how the universe itself started. Despite this bad hand he was dealt, even blind musicians like American Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles or Zimbabwean Paul Matayuri achieved major musical success in their careers despite their disabilities. Life is not about how hard you hit, but it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Unfortunate and unprecedented circumstances are only a part of life, but it is more about how you react to them. These are people who were disabled but still made the most of their lives. Disability doesn't mean inability. There are many things you can do in life. It is just a matter of self-discovery. That is why James closes his choruses with as James sings, some things cannot be avoided, only reacted to, because we cannot even choose when we die. The best thing we can do is make the most of the time that we have right now and work with what we have.
He really sang this from the heart because this was very personal. It is said he wrote this song for his son who was also born disabled, as well as considering he would later die at a very tender age of 39 too. One could say he was also foreshadowing and embracing his own early mortality, which makes this record even more profound.
Overall, Kudakwashe is a message of acceptance, resilience, moving on, and a message against those who ever complain about the things they can change in life. This song, for its smooth, somber, sailing sound and deep, thoughtful, considerate lyrics, Kudakwashe is a Zimbabwean classic that I cannot award enough 5 stars. It's a 5-star and a MIMSI African Hall of Fame music classic.